fatalities. We are extending their lives. And when I go up to Walter Reed, they don't want to be looked at as a victim. They just want to, some of them want to go back over there. It's absolutely incredible when you talk to them. But they just want to be able to have, some modicum of life. So I think the most important thing we have to do, as George Washington said, future generations who want to serve will judge how well we treat our veterans as to whether they will want to serve. So we have got to be the ones to take care of that. I visited the Broward VA clinic today, and I can tell you that Broward VA clinic is doing very well. I know that we can do better with some of the VA hospitals. We have Miami and also West Palm Beach. But, this year, a chapter ended for us. Frank Buckles, the last World War I veteran, passed away. So, the next are the World War II veterans. And we've got to do the best we can to continue to take care of those men and those women, because they need to be around to tell the stories about what they did for us so that we could still be free. And we need to make sure we're doing the same. But not just Gulf War veterans, but Iraq veterans, Afghanistan veterans, all of them who have been willing, as Abraham Lincoln said, to give that last full measure of devotion so that we could sit here in this great constitutional republic. Yeah.
Questions regarding Pakistan. Dennis Gelsomino, Boca Raton, and Erlene Schipper of Point Lookout, New York. Dennis asked, why are we still sending aid to Pakistan? And Erlene asked, with conflicting reports with Pakistan, why haven't we cut off aid?
Well, it's so funny. A lot of people say, we should be afraid of Pakistan because they have nukes. But if you operate in that realm of fear, the Pakistanis will always bend you over the barrel. And I will tell you this, I guarantee that we know where every single one of those nuclear facilities are, and we have contingency plans to take them out if it ever came to that. The United States of America cannot be held hostage by any nation, but that is exactly what happened. Like I said, I spent 2.5 years in Afghanistan, and I was down at Kandahar. And every time we put pressure on the Taliban, they ran right across the border and went back into Pakistan. And there is no doubt that the leader of the Taliban, Mullah Omar, is holed up in Quetta, Pakistan. It's down in the southern area. See, there is a reason why these individuals are going to Pakistan. Either they're being invited, or they know that once they get there, they have sanctuary and they're not going to be touched. So there comes a point in time, and if you kind of flip things, and you put this in the context of the Vietnam War, this is the modern day Cambodia. And you cannot allow, well, this is, and you asked a great question, and let me deal with that question. The number one thing that we have as an asset for our military is our strategic mobility. And if we fail to understand that, and if we get away from the nation-building occupation-style warfare, which means you have to have these huge military bases. Bagram Air Base and Kandahar Air Base Airfield are so big that you have bus services. That's not how you fight this present war, okay? You have got to be able to have a quick strike capability that can go in and hit this enemy and then get out. Take him out wherever he presents himself and get out. If he's in Yemen, hit him and get out. If he's in Somalia, hit him and get out. If he's in the mountains of Afghanistan, seal off that area, hit him and get out. Wherever he is, being with your drones, being with fixed wing aviation, being with rotary wing aviation, being with special operations forces, being with air assault forces, airborne forces, maritime forces, that's what you have to show the capability to do. I don't know. I mean, that's one of those questions like, why don't I take pictures of school lunches? I mean, I don't know. But this is what we're talking about. And I'm not banging on lawyers. But if 75 to 80% of the House of Representatives are lawyers, okay, then you get what you have. But if you can get individuals, that have been on the ground and understand that tactical level to come up to be at the strategic level up in D.C., if you can get individuals that when they're sitting on the House Armed Services Committee and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff or the Secretary of Defense come up and you're asking them questions about Libya, and you can talk to them about certain tactics and techniques, and you have them saying, you know, I'm kind of in trouble because this guy over here knows that we're not really being truthful. That's what you have to have now. You've got to get experience in the legislative branches that have been on these modern day battlefields. And that affects the decisions to make sure that our men and women stay safe. And we commit them with the right type of goals and objectives so that they can be successful in battle.
Jim Hunter of West Palm Beach asks, what should Obama accomplish when he meets with Benjamin Netanyahu?
It's very simple. You know, the best ally we have in the Middle East is Israel. And if we turn our backs on Israel, we're next. You know, a lot of people were very exuberant about what happened in Egypt. But one of the things that I've asked a lot of people, when you looked at those protest signs in Egypt, how many of those signs were in Arabic? How many of the guys that they went out and they interviewed on the streets in Egypt needed to translate? Who do you think they were marketing that message to? But see, the thing that has happened since, you know, Hosni Mubarak has been deposed, and Hosni Mubarak was not a perfect individual, neither was the Shah of Iran a perfect individual, but you ended up getting the Ayatollah. Since Hosni Mubarak has been deposed, Iranian warships have gone through the Suez Canal. Rocket and mortar attacks have increased coming out of the Gaza Strip. And you saw what just happened. I mean, we're about to have the Independence Day celebration for Israel. And look what had happened coming down out of southern Lebanon. Look what happened coming out of Gaza Strip and Hamas. Look at all the things that they're having to contend with. The most important thing that President Obama has to tell President Netanyahu is that the United States of America will always be there to support the modern day. There's always been an Israel. We're just talking about the modern day state of Israel. And just like I showed you up here, Fatah and Hamas have gone into a reconciliation pact. There should be no funding that goes to the Palestinian Authority for them signing that pact with Hamas, which has a charter that states it will seek the destruction of the state of Israel. We have got to let them know that we're there to support them in every way possible. Because if not, we're talking about 3+ years of Israel.
James Giroux of Lantana. Are the Republicans backing down from the promise to repeal Obamacare and to balance the budget?
Well, I'm not. Okay. So I can't say. We've got to balance the budget. And, you know, I've bumped heads with leadership before. And I think that we will continue to bump heads if I don't see them being very committed about getting the fiscal house of the United States of America in order. And that means we've got to make ourselves fiscally responsible up in Washington, D.C. We've got to do the hard job of curtailing spending. And a balanced budget amendment is so needed for our federal government. If not, then they will continue to do what none of you can do. None of you can run your household. None of you can run your business like the federal government is running itself. The federal government is showing that it is the only entity in the United States of America that can run itself in red. And if it needs to generate more capital, it just turns to you. That's not the way that we're going to move ourselves forward in this country.
Sherry McFarland of Boca Raton. I'm 64 and on a small business group insurance policy that is costing $1,653 a